And I have a question. If Satan is bound right now, and it's only a matter of time until he hops out of the bottomless pit, right? If he's still in the pit and he hasn't been cast down to earth, on May 21st, 2011, 8 years ago, if that didn't happen and that wasn't the one day that was 1,000 years and 1,000 years is as one day, then why is it that the world is so wicked and super, like, there's deaths everywhere? People are getting blown up, shot, murdered, left and right, to the point where it's just like, oh, how many this time? Oh, only 12? So, I mean, I'm asking a rhetorical question. Obviously, I don't believe that Satan is just like bound up somewhere waiting to get unleashed. That's the whole point. Satan has been unleashed. That's why everything is ramping up the way it is. But I understand the script too. The script is wait a minute, let me read my script. Let them who are evil still, be evil still. But the script is, look, don't even try to think that God is going to save you, all right? You're going to die. You're going to die, you're going to starve, or you're going to get murdered, or whatever. You're just going to die. And then, okay, fine. Let's say that is true. You're going to die. All right. Okay, I die. I move on. I move on and live again. How do you die? Well, I don't know. Everybody dies, don't they? But I understand, like, nobody feels like dying horrifically. You don't feel like being tortured to death. But if that's the case, and you have to go through it, what are you going to do besides go through it and deal with it, and then just, the reward is on the other end when you're done. But I think that there's some kind of a, I thought of this, if people go through life all the time and they just feel like, you just want to kind of head off, be done with this world. Well, I guess you're going to start again, unless heaven is the actual place where every soul goes to finally rest for good, and then you're not put back on earth again. See, I don't know, because God knows. Just like God is the only one that knows when Christ returns, because he returns as a thief in your heart, because he steals your old heart and gives you the heart of an animal. And that's why men's hearts will fail from fear. The elite are using that script, that verse, to say, well, your heart's going to fail from the fear of Stephen and the bombs and everything. I look at it like men's hearts will fail. Their old heart is going to fail them because it has let them down time and time again. And the fear is the beginning of the wisdom of the Lord. So when your heart fails from the fear, the healthy fear from God, it becomes a changed heart. So I just see it differently, that's all. But I can understand where the elite are playing that role to keep the fear inside of you. And the king over there, look, I gotta say this. I think he's jealous of all my subscribers. I'm not sure. I don't know how else to say it besides he's attacking you guys. he just make video. He just make video attacking my subs. I think he was calling you like fake. Yeah, that's what it is. These are all fake, and you're all going to hell if you continue to follow me, right? So I think some of them have already like seen the absolute truth. I'm pretty sure there's some of you guys out there that were just like me. You actually thought Steve was just some kind of poor suffering servant, and of the Lord Jesus Christ, not the truth of the matter. He's the poor in spirit, suffering with demons, as a spirit from Satan. He's still suffering. It's like you got to treat him like he's still sick. Like he's just sick. Like, you still love him anyway, but you got to understand that he's just sick. So anyway, so if Satan wasn't cast down already, that means, according to the world script, like the elite, like it's like Trump acts like, I mean, he's a good actor, I give it to him. He is acting like he has no clue. It's the Bible prophet. What? What's a Bible? What? So how can all this evil happen if Satan is like bound in chains? And on top of that, when this peace treaty comes around, and then they say you got like 7 years after that, it's still a little foggy. Like what happens first? The peace and safety, does the deal happen itself, and then afterwards there's some kind of sudden structure, or is it just when they're saying it? I'm leaning more towards there's a plan that certain individuals still have, that once X, Y happens, then they go with plan Z, but Z is cut off because God is cutting out the Z. And is that the 26? Yeah, that's right, 26 letter alphabet. Say God's going to make it a 25 letter alphabet. So he's cutting out the Z. And that means that if you believe that we have 1,000, like, oh yeah, the other thing is believing that we have 1,000 years to go, that we're reigning with Christ. Okay, see, if anybody wants to be lied to some more, go watch Terrell Croft, because he's all about the like the binary system and everything, and on top of that, he sounds exactly like Steve. Like, not just the words that he's talking about, his pronunciation of words. It's like there's a school that teaches you how to talk that way, and Steve is from the same school. I believe he said he got speech therapy or something, right, Steve? So I think you guys absolutely came from the same teacher that taught you how to talk that way. So when you're completely in agreement with them that we're all going to die, all right? It just, we're all going to die. And Adam, or Christ, is going to be killed again by Satan, right? We're all going to die. Christ is going to be killed again by Satan. Satan, see, if Christ would have taught what was happening to the apostles, Satan wouldn't have killed Christ, right? So, in other words, Satan was deceived back then. He knows better now. So to kill Christ again, well, it's not the way it works. So when Steve is acting as if he's gonna be killed, whatever, look, he's gonna live on just like everybody else. So the fear of, well, Christ dies, right, this time around, which makes absolutely no sense, because he died one time for everybody. It already happened. He doesn't come here to get beat the frick down again. This is the time where it's vengeance. It's not stepping up and then getting killed again. Like, Wah, wah, wah. Oh well. Looks like we're all gonna just let Satan and his people take complete control over every vessel in the world and kill them all. Yeah, but what about he who endures to the end shall be saved? Huh? What about that part? Well, don't worry about that. It's just like a typo or something. It doesn't really mean anything. So the hypocrisy of it just kind of makes me sick. It really does. The fear that people are trying to push. And let's say we do die. Okay, then you die. And then you move on. And it's like, it's just a point of trying to put people in fear. I don't agree with that. But then again, I understand the point of the people that aren't listening. Well, you got to deal with the consequences. But for Christ to die this time around, and we're all going to be dwelling in heaven, like, in other words, because all of Satan's people are going to rule the earth for the next 1,000 years. That's the biggest freaking flat out lie that Steve can possibly tell anybody. That is the biggest flat out lie. That for the next 1,000 years, only Satan's people are going to be alive on earth. You know what I mean? Like, how do you, let's think this through. How do you explain the next 1,000 years, right? Only Satan's people, remember this. This is what Steve is pushing. The Antichrist, okay? All you gotta do is type in I, Robin Henry Tees, has discovered Stephen James Sean as the Antichrist. It'll come up 666. So, amongst the many other things. You have, let's say 100 years from now. But no, let's just say everybody is dead, right? It's only Satan's people. You get Jezebel knocked up and she gets pregnant, right? How do you guarantee that that child won't be a child of God? How do you guarantee that? You can't. So it makes no sense. So the theory is it comes to a halt right there. Because God, you think God's like, you know what I mean? It's just gonna, yeah, no, hold on, guys. We still gonna go 1,000 years. We're gonna, look, Earth is where we live. It's where we live as human beings. Hell and heaven, it's your choice where you want to dwell. We live here on Earth, planet Earth, that abides forever. This is where we live. So as you're living your life, you either choose to listen to demons, right, that tell you things, and when there's a vessel like that, like Steve's vessel being used, Satan puts a lot of those thoughts to him, and then he tries to transfer those thoughts. And if he can get you to think and fear, because I know what he's doing. He's trying to get the people that have turned away from him and have come to their senses and was like, yeah, Robin's telling the truth. Steve is a fraud. He's trying to get you people, whoever you are, I'm sure there's at least a few of you, he's trying to get you guys to live in fear because he's telling you, I told you so. You're going to be in a dark place really soon. And it's only because he has the world script in his hand. That's the only reason that he's so confident with the things that he's saying, even though there's an extreme lack of confidence in his words, because when you have to continually, say that you're not bothered and say that you don't care if people believe you're not, and say things that I sleep fine. I sleep fine. And I don't have a script. I have a script. Look, I mean, I'm not even asking you to explain yourself, Stephen James Sean. I'm not asking you to, but if you want to, you can keep doing it. I'm just going to keep showing the people that want to listen to truth, the truth. I can't help it. It's what I do. So, if you believe we have 1,000 years to go and that Satan's going to rule this world, he's already no. You know what I mean? He's been ruling this world for the past 13,030 years. That is the beginning of creation. 13,030 years. Exactly. I think. So, it's close to that. So he's been ruling all this time. His time is up. He knows he has a short period of time, and his time is up. But there's an individual that has really taken place over the vessel. I mean, the individual vessel has been taken over by Satan. So what he's going to do is continue to push that once all this happens, even though he's saying nothing's going to happen, but he keeps telling you, I warned you, I told you, but nothing's going to happen, guys. Your date's going to come and go. Tomorrow, June 5th, nothing. Up till June 11th, nothing's going to happen. It's just life as usual. But I warned you that you're all going to go to hell. Watch what happens real soon. Nothing's going to happen shortly, guys. Nothing at all. Don't. Rabin is a liar. So I'm hearing double talk. I'm hearing this and I'm hearing that, because there's different people that he still has to deceive. And so look, I mean, if you want to believe we got 1,000 years to go and we all die and then reign with Christ, all right, fine, and that's what happens. But it makes absolutely no sense that for the next 1,000 years this earth is going to have not one of God's children walking it. And every child that is created is only going to be Satan's. You know what I mean? Only. So think about that when people tell you that there's 1,000 years to go and we're all going to die. All right? I'm going to laugh at destruction. I'm going to laugh even if I am getting killed. I'm going to laugh myself to death.